Have you ever said yes when every cell inside you was screaming no, and then smiled like everything felt completely fine? Afterward, you told yourself it was kindness, maturity, being easy to work with. But deep down, something felt slightly off and heavier than usual. That quiet heaviness is the price of being too nice, and most people do not realize they are paying it every single day. Let me tell you a simple story about a hedgehog and his friends that might feel uncomfortably familiar tonight. In a small forest, there lived a hedgehog who was known as the kindest creature anyone had ever met. Whenever the rabbits needed help gathering carrots, he showed up without hesitation and without asking for anything in return. When the squirrels argued, he volunteered to mediate, even when he was exhausted and desperately needed rest. When winter came and food was scarce, he offered his own storage first, smiling as if sacrifice was effortless and natural. At first, everyone loved him, because being around him felt easy and warm and incredibly convenient. But there was one small problem that nobody noticed, especially not the hedgehog himself. Every time he forced himself to fit into someone else's expectations, his tiny sharp quills bent inward instead of outward. A hedgehog's quills are not weapons, they are boundaries, and without them he slowly forgot how to protect his own space. One night, a fox accidentally stepped on him while he was pretending to be softer than he truly was. The hedgehog felt pain, real pain, but he apologized to the fox for being in the way. That was the moment he realized something was terribly wrong with the way he was living. Here is the uncomfortable truth. When you constantly shrink to make others comfortable, you start disappearing from your own life. People who are too nice are rarely weak. They are usually deeply empathetic and painfully aware of everyone else's emotions. They read the room quickly, adjust their tone, change their plans, and sacrifice their needs before anyone even asks. At first, this feels powerful, because you become the reliable one, the safe one, the person everyone appreciates. But appreciation is not the same as respect, and convenience is not the same as genuine connection. When you always say yes, people stop asking how you truly feel, because you trained them not to. And slowly, resentment starts building in quiet corners of your heart where nobody else can see it. You begin feeling tired around people you supposedly care about, and you do not understand why. The reason is simple and brutal. You are performing a version of yourself instead of living as yourself. Psychologically, people-pleasing is often rooted in fear, not kindness. Fear of rejection, fear of conflict, fear of being seen as selfish or difficult or ungrateful. Somewhere in your past, maybe you learned that love was conditional and approval had to be earned, so you became excellent at earning it, even if it meant betraying your own preferences and limits. The hedgehog in the forest believed that if he ever showed his quills, his friends would leave him alone forever. But what he did not realize was that real friends do not leave because you have boundaries. They leave when they only benefited from your lack of them. One day, after another long winter of giving too much, the hedgehog decided to experiment with something terrifying. The next time a rabbit asked him to carry extra carrots, he paused before answering. That pause felt like standing on the edge of a cliff without knowing how deep the drop might be. Then he said, gently but clearly, "I cannot help today. I need to rest." The forest did not collapse. The sky did not fall. And the rabbit simply found another solution. That small moment changed everything inside him. Here is the first step for you. Learn to pause before responding. Not to be dramatic, not to create tension, but to check whether your yes is honest or automatic. A conscious yes builds strength, but an automatic yes slowly drains your identity. Second, redefine kindness in your own mind. Kindness is not self-abandonment. It is generosity that does not require you to bleed internally. You can care deeply about others and still protect your time, energy, and emotional space. Third, expect discomfort when you start changing. People who benefited from your overgiving might feel confused, even slightly annoyed at first. That does not mean you are wrong. It means the dynamic is shifting and growth rarely feels convenient. The hedgehog eventually realized his quills were never the problem. They were the reason he survived. Once he allowed them to stand naturally again, something surprising happened. The friendships that remained became more balanced, more respectful, and strangely more intimate than before. Because now, when he offered help, it came from choice, not fear. And when he rested, he did it without guilt, whispering in his ears at night. If you see yourself in this story, I want you to remember something important. You were not wrong for wanting harmony. You were simply trying to feel safe and loved. But true safety does not come from shrinking. It comes from standing in your full shape without apology. This week, choose one small situation where you normally overextend yourself and respond differently. Not aggressively, not defensively, just honestly and calmly, even if your voice shakes a little. Watch what happens. Not outside first, but inside your own chest and nervous system. Notice the relief, the quiet strength, the return of something that felt lost for a long time. Being kind is beautiful, but being real is powerful. And the world does not need a softer version of you. It needs the whole hedgehog, quills and all.